Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this video from. As always, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Acheng, and today's video, I am going to show you how I make my sauteed beef in red sauce. So as most of you are aware, if you have not checked my video before, please make sure you check it out. But usually I create my own pepper red sauce. It's a blend of red bell peppers, red habaneros, red onions, and some tomatoes. Just depending on my taste, I just blend them and then I use it as my tomato paste or tomato sauce. And it really comes in handy and it's so versatile. You can use it in everything or almost everything. But in today's video, I'm going to be preparing some beef and I'm going to use the same red sauce. So if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please make sure you click on the subscribe button. And to our loyal viewers, thank you so much. I'm very grateful. And to our new viewers, welcome to our YouTube channel. I hope you will enjoy. I know that you will enjoy. So I'm going to begin with preparing the onion, and then I've already softened the meat. This particular beef, I bought it from the farm. So usually it's a little bit hard. You have to take your time and soften it first. So I've already started that process, but I'm going to go ahead and prepare our onion, and then we'll proceed to the next steps. So I have my red onion that I'll be using. And the red sauce already has onion in it, but I love onions, so. And me just cooking without onion, it will feel weird without just seeing the onions. So I'm going to add a little bit of onion. As soon as I can be able to remove this cover. There we go. So I'm going to set this on the side. Since the red sauce already has some onion, I am not going to use too much onion. It does not matter the size of the onions, the way you cut them, as long as you cut them to your liking. And voila, I'm going to use this dish. And now that we have our onion ready, we are going to proceed to the next step. So we already have our oil heated up, and this is our beef. So what I'm going to do, and it's something that I love to do, is brown the beef first. When you boil the beef to soften it, it gives it a texture, a smooth texture. And with African cuisine, we always kind of fry the meat. It could be the beef, it could be goat meat, it could be lamb meat. It does not matter, but we usually kind of fry it first. And the frying kind of gives it it hardens the texture, the outside texture of it. And it's something that we love to do. I always prepare my meat that way, whichever meat that I'm using. So for this oil, I'm just going to harden the meat a little bit, just to give it some texture. Also, I already saved some broth for this beef that we are going to add later on. And when we add the broth, we do not add a lot. We just add a little bit, depending on how much liquid you want your final food to have. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep on turning. I do not want the beef to harden too much. If you want it to harden faster, you can add the heat. You can increase the heat. It just depends with you. But if it's your first time doing it, I would highly recommend to use medium-low heat first and then progress as you go. So as that continues to progress, I am just going to walk through my recipes. My ginger and garlic, I'm going to be using that in today's recipe. And then my red pepper sauce that I already blended. I always package them this way and then store them in the fridge or in the freezer. I have my habaneros, very important. And today I am going to use a very particular black pepper. This is a black pepper from Cameroon. This is the spiciest black pepper that I believe that you'll find in Africa, if I'm not wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you're aware of that. But it's very spicy, and I'm going to add a pinch of it. And then my usual spices, cumin, and then I'm originally from Kenya. I'm going to add royco. I love royco. It's a very famous spice that we use in Kenya. Going to turn this as we go. As you can see, our beef is already browning. For the next spice, I'm going to use Slap Your Mama. I always use this spice. I'm going to also add chicken bouillon. I use it in almost everything. Black pepper. I'm going to be very light on the black pepper. Actually, I'm not going to use this one because I'm using the Cameroonian black pepper. And then, of course, some paprika. And we will taste and see if we are happy with the taste that we have. So as you can see, our meat has browned. I do not want it to brown too much. If you let it brown too much, it's going to be more harder. So I am happy with the level of browning that we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop our meat out. And I have my rack here that's going to help the excess oil to drip. Okay. Now we are going to move ahead with adding our onions. And we have to let this onion soften. I'm also going to add some white onion. These are just some leftover that I had, some onion that I had left over in the fridge. And if you have watched my videos, you know I do not like to waste anything if I can help it. So and I'm just going to let the onion just to soften up just a little bit, not too long. While that softens, I am going to go ahead and add our ginger. Just a teaspoon and a half of ginger. And then 2 teaspoons of garlic. I love using garlic. And since garlic has a higher cooking point, I'm not going to cook it for too long. So I have my pepper sauce here. You can use as much as you want depending on the amount of meat that you have. I usually measure it by eye. So this is our red sauce. I'm going to add, this is about 1 cup of red sauce that I'm adding. I am also going to add a little bit more. As you can see, this is how our red sauce blend looks like. Going to add more because the red sauce is one of the main ingredients of this dish. Okay. Just going to rinse this away. So this red sauce has some water in it. And what we want to do is we want to cook down this red sauce in a way that all of the water, so that we do not have any water left. And also how you will know that it's cooked down is because the color of this sauce is going to change. And once the water is all cooked out, it's going to you're going to have the actual red sauce and the oil left, and then the oil will be able to fry the red sauce, and it's going to turn the red sauce into a deeper red. So that is exactly what we want. And this step requires a lot of patience, and it can get messy because this sauce will start splitting or splattering all over. So you definitely want to use a a non-stick pot, and then you want to kind of have control over the heat, and you want to have a closure to help you kind of prevent the mess. So we are going to let this cook down for some minutes. So our red sauce is cooking. As you can see, we had almost a little bit of burn, but not bad because you can barely notice it. But that is why I was insisting, guys, you have to be very careful. As you can see, the color is changing. Now we are going to go ahead and start adding our spices. Starting with the chicken bouillon, some cumin, made an accident there. It is normal part of the cooking process. I'm going to add the slap your mama. I'm going to add some paprika, which will add depth to the color. I'm going to also add some cayenne, and not a lot because we are adding the Cameroon pepper that is very spicy, I must admit. Can already smell it. It is so strong. And then one very important, I'm adding the habanero right now because I do not want it to, I want to maintain its structure. If the habanero bursts, it will make your food more spicy. So that is why I'm adding it at this point. So you can see how the color is. And then I'm adding some Kenyan Royco, about 1 tablespoon. And at this point, I'm going to add our beef because I want the beef to kind of have some time to cook into this red sauce. So I'm going to give it a good mix. And look at that color. It looks amazing. There is a dish that we make. It's called nyama karanga in Kenya, and it looks just like this. And what it means, nyama karanga is that's Swahili, and it means dry beef that does not have any soup or liquid in it. And when you eat it with ugali, um, which is it's kind of almost like cornbread, but not really cornbread. And then with any type of veggie, it is an amazing dish that I will be creating that video one day so you guys can watch. Literally one of my favorite dishes. One of my favorite Kenyan dishes. I know I have a lot, but that one is definitely one of my favorite. So I'm happy with the color that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and add some broth in this. I'll add a blend of chicken broth and beef broth. This is the some of the broth that was left over for the beef. I do not want too much liquid. I just want just enough amount. So look at how beautiful that looks. You can see the depth in color for the tomato. That is exactly what we wanted, and that's what makes this beef very unique. So I'm going to add just a little bit of more liquid. I'm going to let it simmer on low heat because I want to preserve some of the liquid. I don't want it to cook down too much. Depending on how you're planning to eat your beef, you will decide how much liquid you want or how much soup you want your liquid to have. Look at how thick that sauce is. It has flavor upon flavor, and that's what makes my homemade red pepper sauce unique. Just making sure I break down any lumps. That is why I'm taking my time. And I'm going to add just a little bit more of liquid. And then I'm going to reduce the heat to low heat, and we are going to let this simmer down. But before we do that, I'm going to make sure the spice level is where I want it to be. Perfect. No need to add anything. So this is on medium low, close to the low edge, and we're going to let this simmer for just a couple of minutes. So our beef has been simmering in this sauce, red sauce, and look at that. Look at the depth of the color. It looks amazing, and as you can see, our habanero is still intact. That is exactly why I added it later on. I did not add it at the beginning of preparing the food. I love the texture of the soup. It is not too thick and not runny. It's just right, and I am happy with the amount of soup we have here. Soup or sauce always confuse me, but anyway, I am happy with the amount of sauce that we have here because I'll be eating this as the main dish and with some side dish. So depending on how you want to eat this beef, it will depend on the amount that you want to have. But for me, I am happy with how this looks. And as you can see, guys, it is ready to be served. You can eat this with rice, you can eat this with chapati, you can go wild as you like. So thank you guys so much. And look at the meat. It really looks good. The texture, the shape of the meat, it is soft inside, and then outside it has like a crunchy flavor to it. That is exactly how we prepare our beef back in Africa, depending on exactly which country you're from. So thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate your support. Thank you for watching till the end of the video. And please do not forget to subscribe, share this recipe, and let me know what you think about the recipe. And until next time, bon appetit.